Today I want to teach you about flossing. The word flossing is used, or the activity of flossing is used as part of your overall fascial health program, and it's part of your fascial hygiene, I call it. So when we think about using the fascia blaster as part of a routine, of course you heat up and then you blast and then you flush the tissues with your hands. You've seen videos of rubbing the skin sort of with a light massage to decrease any inflammation or edema in the area. And then we talk about activating, and then we talk about flossing. So this is the next step in your fascial hygiene of fascia blasting and flushing and flossing and fluids, because you have to hydrate also. That's an important part of your overall fascial health. I'm wearing this elastic band across my body today as an external representation of really what's inside of me and inside of you too. This is the arm fascial line. This represents the fascial line underneath my skin, which is connective tissue that surrounds all the muscles and the nerves and the arteries and vessels as well. But this is sort of a representation of the fascial line we're going to be focusing on today. My goal with this video is not to show you exactly how to do particular poses to floss, but I want you to know how you can find the places you need to floss, and then how you go about using what you know about your body and what you learned from this video to design your own flossing program. Okay, so we're going to look at the arm lines today to demonstrate that. So what I want to first talk about is, why do we need to floss? Let me tell you. There's two kinds of flexibility that come into play as we look at feeling good and moving and having access to healthy, pain-free motion. The first kind of flexibility is joint flexibility. If you look at my hand here, I have full wrist range of motion, elbow range of motion at the joints. If you look at what I'm doing with the demonstration of the joint range of motion, here my fascial line of my arm line is on a slack. There's no tension in my fascial lines, and I can demonstrate full range of motion in my elbows, wrists, and hands, and so forth. Pretty easy to do when everything is right here in front of me. This is where most of our arm motion and flexibility is required, is right here in front of us, where we do most of our work. Then why do we have pains and tensions and so forth? We have fascial adhesions anywhere along this line that we feel when we open up or stretch, put on a stretch, our fascial line in our arms. So again, pain-free, easy range of motion as long as fascia is on a slack, and then ow, maybe tensions appear when you put that fascial line on stretch. Look at the different postures I can get in where that fascial line is still on stretch. I can pronate, supinate, or like turning a doorknob with my hands. I can bring my shoulders behind me. I can reach back as to clasp or unclasp a bra strap. I can come behind me this way and stretch some, not my chest, but maybe some of it stretch. But look at the positions where you're most likely to feel a fascial tension. Okay? So as you move and you explore where you might have a hang-up or a pinch or a tension, I want to show you where flossing comes into play. So I'm going to demonstrate by pointing and touching with this hand, but know that if this was really me doing this, I'm going to have both my arms out, okay? Let's say that with both my arms out, I feel a tension here between the shoulder and the sternum. Let's imagine that as to be a pinch, a gathered pinch of the fascia here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move back and forth the joint that's right distal to, or right next to where the tension is, and that's going to allow that tension to come out and the release of the fascial knot or restrictions that are right there between the shoulder and the sternum, okay? I would do that this way with my other arm out wide as well. You can do both of them at the same time, and you can tell just what you feel there is that's particularly stretching the chest fascia across the front of the chest. Let's say that in this position I feel a tension between the shoulder and my elbow. Let's demonstrate that with a pinch here of a fascial adhesion. What I'm going to do in this extended position is floss. I can move the elbow back and forth to floss and get that to release right there. Let's look at it here. Holding arms back behind me, I can floss and floss and floss and floss this way with elbow flexion and extension to release an adhesion here. Moving on with the same idea, if the tension felt in full fascial extension is located in the forearm region here, then I'm going to want to floss with wrist flexion and extension with arms fully extended and fascial line on full stretch. Okay? So you can find where your tensions are and floss moving any joint along that fascial line and feel where the tensions are, and you can find those positions where they are, moving your hands, moving your elbows, rotating, and finding those places where you feel the fascial stretch. Up here, like I don't feel it where I have slack here, but I might still feel it in my arms here, so I can floss at my wrists. And as I come down and back, then I really feel the chest. Lots of ways. So the idea of stretching your fascia and flossing is to find the tension and rotate or oscillate or pulse, flexion and extension of your joints, or rotation of your forearm. How many repetitions? I don't know, 5 to 10 repetitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. Or with the elbows, you can count to 10. Or pulsing back this way, you can do that. Also be mindful of one more thing. Stretching your fascia also has to do with the connections where into your neck and into your spine. So if I just change the position of my head or neck and floss the arm with rotation here or with the flexion and extension, if my neck is contributing to that pull, you can change position of your neck and feel a whole different set of symptoms. So I hope this visual demonstration helps you understand fascial lines that are hidden beneath the skin, how we move on slack and how we move them on stretch, and the idea of flossing. Play with your fascial lines and comment below on where you're finding tensions and how you're using these techniques to design your own flossing program at home. Good luck.